Well, Coach, just seems like that middle period there was really did your team in, because you look at your 5-on-5 play in the first and the third, and you were pretty much even with them. So what do you think went wrong in that middle period other than the penalties?
Well, I mean, they executed their special teams at the end of the day. I mean, this is a team in 4 games played so far. They've scored 11, on their power play. I mean, they've tough team to keep off the score sheet, and if we're not executing our special teams, we're not giving ourselves a chance to win. We know they got dangerous players. Discipline is a part of it. Anything over 5 minors, I mean, we don't even want to take, but anything over 5 minors, you're playing with fire. And they scored 3 power play goals, 1 shorthanded. I mean, they found a way to put up 6, even though we outshot them there just by a couple. And that's what good teams do. They execute on the chances they're given.
Last 2 games are really benchmark games with Barrie and Brantford. These are tough playoff-like teams that you're going to have to go against in April if you get to that point. So what's the message when you're in a tough game like that and trying to keep the guys' emotions, in check of what they need to do, rather than taking minor penalties and then getting them farther behind?
I mean, they're learning lessons. Like I said, it's great to get to the playoffs, but I mean, if we use this as a benchmark, I mean, we're not really close there to the Barrie team. I mean, 5-1, even though it was close. I mean, it didn't feel like that, being outshot 30-6, and I thought emotionally and physically we didn't match their level of intensity to start the game. I mean, that's the start that I think you really need to take from a leadership, from a physical and emotional standpoint, and that emotional jam, I think, is something that our team needs to find a way to get back, because our casual approach is just not working right now, and it's win 1, lose 2 right now, and it's just 4 wins in our last 10 games. I think is not the type of playoff hockey that you want to be playing coming down the stretch here.
When you're down to 3 forward lines, and then Creek gets the 5 minutes, so you really only have 9 forwards there, 8 forwards at times, and you're missing some key guys, 4 forwards out of the lineup to begin with. So when you're trying to roll those 3 lines against a team like that, just how much more difficult is that for the guys as far as conditioning, and then you as a coach trying to make sure that the lines are being rolled out decent?
Well, I mean, they want the minutes. I mean, don't let anybody kid you. That's something that they all want, is the opportunity. And as a coach, you want to give them the opportunity. It's what you do with it, which I think matters. And I think Kevin just got his first assist in 4 games, and Loshko's now been held off the score sheet, I think, in 4 straight games. And Rubrick's been on for 9 of the last 10, and Zana just got his first 4 point in 4 games. And Waslin, on average of 20 minutes, hasn't found a way to produce as far as any type of 5-on-5 or special teams yet. And the guys we've been relying upon all year right now, their offense is dried up, and that happens. There's dry spells, there's hot spells right now, and if you're not scoring, it's what are you doing? And you go through a game and you want to find a way to make an impact, and I thought Charlie Hotless was a guy that stood out. Even though Crete had a hit, he wanted to make a difference by being physical, and that's something that you want to admire, even though he had a 5 in a game for that too. So Darcy DeWatcher going net front on a power play and providing a screen and finding a way to get it through. I mean, those are the guys at the end of the day I found a way to make an impact, not because of goals or assists, but for the little things that they did away from the puck or their compete level. And I think that's something that we really need our go-to guys, if they're not scoring, to find a way to make that impact throughout the game as well.
And then lastly, you got 2 more games this week, so coming off 2 losses, but you got a home with Erie on Friday and Sunday. So what's the message for them going forward, getting a practice day there, and then making sure that you're ready for 2 more games this week?
Oh, it's a motivated hockey group in Erie, and the West is going to be really good. I mean, we saw them once, and they're a high-scoring, high-flying team, and I mean, they walloped us in our own building. So it's not going to be another easy team. I mean, since the trade deadline, we've seen everybody type of load up and get some new players. I mean, Erie was one of the teams that didn't really make any moves, kind of like us here. So, I mean, they should have that familiarity, that camaraderie. I mean, we're going to be short forwards, absolutely, but everybody in that lineup wants it, where they're playing lots of minutes. So we're still without Asadorian, Paris, and Levin, but for everybody else in the lineup, they got to find a way to make an impact.